Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at our quarterfinals match versus Obey in the last monthly final of the year. So let's go. All right, so we're hopping into the draft, and the draft was super important in this first set. I will say this made quite a big difference, in my opinion, at least in the first set. And the bans were honestly not what we were expecting from the side of Obey, and it kind of caught us off guard. So they first picked an Ems. We then followed up with a Rico Gale. Now, Gale was something that we didn't even know if would work. We kind of just said, you know what, let's just do it. It doesn't really matter at this point. Let's just go for a Gale versus Ems. First timing something in the monthly, maybe not the best idea, but at the end of the day, it wasn't the worst pick. It might have been a slight mistake, but either way, this is where I think we made the biggest mistake. I think there is only one pick to save this draft, and it is not the Primo that we picked. It is going to be Buzz. Now, Buzz, I think, could have made the difference. I think Buzz is just really good versus Carl. It's able to catch a Barley pretty easily, and again, Ems, it's pretty hard for Ems to deal with, I guess, and yeah. So let's hop into it and we'll talk more. But before we continue, I wanted to thank the sponsor of this video, Blizzard. Diablo Immortal is a massive online role-playing game where you can team up with your friends to destroy tons of monsters and demons, level up, and so much more. But the best part is they just dropped a new update called Forgotten Nightmares. This update has brought so much new endgame content to the game, such as the Silent Monastery dungeon. Now, this dungeon is for level 60 players and above, so I still have a few levels to go before I can try it, but I'm getting so close. But don't worry, they also added the Castle Searing, where you can team up with your warband members, destroy all the monsters and demons, and then take over the castle. Now, once you take over the castle, you can basically just live in it, and each room has their own unique bonuses for whoever's occupying them. Now, also, after you take over the castle, you unlock the Defense of Searingar, which is basically 2 game modes that you can play with your warband members. One of them is where you defend against 8 waves of demons, and if you're successful, you get to claim some rewards and some sweet experience. The second one, which is also my favorite, is where you take on a bunch of endless waves with your warband members, and if you're OP enough, you're able to climb the leaderboards and see how you stack up against other warbands. Now, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go down in the description down below, click my link, download Diablo Immortal so you don't miss out on any action. Now, let's get back to the video. All right, hopping into the first game now. The biggest thing I want you to notice is that we have Meteor on Primo. Now, we are breaking the walls, which in hindsight, it's actually not even that good for us. So, for example, Barley is going to be on Primo, which is usually not a bad matchup for Primo, but you really got to think about it. Barley's got those sticky syrup gadgets just like you see right now. Faye does go down, but at the end of the day, it's a lot for Primo to deal with. And also, you're going to notice Patchy do a lot of work in this entire series, and the main reason is because he's playing it smart. He's gonna go on to the Primo in the open map, which is just so free for him, and it's very hard for Zulon to do anything, and that's kind of the name of the game in this series. And Chino's just gonna keep going in. Rico has a very hard time as well as walls go down, so the wall breaks just don't really help us. Gale also doesn't outrange anybody on their map. On the map in long range, so we needed those walls for Gale as well. And at this point, we are already down 50%. Primo's gonna jump on Barley. We're not even gonna get that kill because of the sticky syrup, and he stays alive, so we lose Primo jump, and Barley stays alive as Livy hits some nice shots, but he's gonna get trapped here. I believe he goes down eventually from a pinch between Chino and Patchy, or actually he stays alive for a decent amount of time, does go down to Fade, and at this point, Chino is just gonna continuously hit the safe. Tyrant can't get that kill because he's just corner peeking the wall. There's nothing he can do at the moment. Now, Barley's on our safe, and it's pretty hard to defend for a Gale and Rico versus a Barley Carl. So Tyrant's going to do his best, knock them both to the side. Zulon got a little bit of damage, closed this game up a little bit, but does go down. And as Patchy is pushing down the mid, this is game over right about here. I think they end it, and if they don't, well, yeah, it's over. It's over. So we're going to go to the next game. All right, game 2. Map's already broken a little bit. Same kind of thing where it just doesn't make sense. Our comp makes 0 sense when you really think about it. We have a Primo that's breaking walls for our Rico and Gale, and then we also just have, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. That's the best way I can describe it. Chino goes in. They have so much more pressure than us as well. They can just Carl gadget where we have to wait for a Primo jump. Pretty hard to get a jump versus this team as well. So Tyrant's trying his best. He does auto aim the super, I think, and it hits Chino. Zulon does get a kill. We actually get a double. This isn't terrible situation, but who actually takes the Barley? Rico doesn't have a good matchup versus Barley, and even Primo until super is not good versus Barley. So Barley's pushing up. Anyway, but you'll see Fade is going to get a lot of damage on our save, just being super annoying. There's nothing Zulon can do at the moment. And I mean, Fade is just right in Zulon's face, but can't do anything. So at this point, Patchy's going to push up. He's also always going to target the Primo anytime Primo is kind of pushing towards their safe. It is 50 to 95, and I don't see a win condition for our team, honestly, at this point. Zulon's just running it down to mid. We're going to get a kill maybe onto Patchy, so it's looking okay. Honestly, at this point, Tyrant should be on Chino in the open side as much as possible. Zulon's going to jump, get the kill onto Chino. And here comes a Barley super down the lane, giving them control, excuse me. Patchy's, again, just going to keep sneaking. Tyrant does a good job of not letting him get up. But I believe Ems outranges, Gale in the long run. So, or does outrange Gale, I should say. Livy's trying to get a bunch of damage, but Fade is still left alive, getting a ton. No one can kill him behind this wall. He's just going to back up, get another super. We are losing as time goes on, and we have to get full control to have a shot at winning this game. And we're doing okay. I will say Zulon does a good job of avoiding this. They commit very hard to him. He does trade one kill. Patchy's going to get pushed away from Tyrant. Tyrant's trying his best in the open range. He does have slow that helps him out a little bit. But again, we're going to have to pinch Patchy. Patchy gets it down to 17%. Livy's trying his best to get as much damage. This is our last push with 10 seconds left. Zulon gets clipped right before he goes in. Nice Gale super to kill them. We get a damage with the Rico super. We get it between 5%. And honestly, I think that was a good game for us. All right, as we're hopping into set 2, let me know what you guys think about that first set. I personally think that was very hard draft for us to win, but I always love to hear what you guys have for opinions. I'm always open to being wrong, so let me know in the comments, but please explain it, because if you just say you had comp or they had comp, it doesn't really tell me much. So either way, if you want to let me know, hit the comments. But this is the draft for Layer Cake, and personally, this draft is much easier for us to win. I don't think it's specifically in anyone's favor. I will say that Tick has a very good matchup into all three. That's the biggest thing to note, but Colette doesn't really have a good matchup, so it kind of balances out. I think it's a pretty even draft, so let's hop into it and show you what happened. Here we go, hopping into the first game, and Bounty is a pretty slow mode, but the one thing we will say is Tick is a brawler that can push up into any single one of these brawlers on their side. The only thing you have to really watch out for is a 3k or a 4k damage gear B shot that will actually one-shot a Tick, which is sometimes the most depressing thing in the game when you're playing Tick. But either way, nice shots from Livy and Tyrant to get a quick kill onto Patchy, and that's the perfect start. I mean, we have the blue star. Tyrant's the only one that needs to stay alive. Now, also something to note on this map is that Fade is pushing into Zulon, which is a Colette. It is very hard for Zulon to keep Fade out because of the bags and because of the bounces. So Zulon's going to be playing the safe lane. I mean, this is the lane that's hard to win. This is the lane that he has to just play slow. But as Livy hits another nice curveball shot, we're going to be able to survive this 3k, luckily thanks to a Tick head. And it gets a little bit dicey here as we're getting pushed in by Chino onto the right side, but we are in control, even though it looks like we're getting spawn trapped. At the end of the day, we have the lead, and that's the most important thing. One person can go down. It gets dicey a little bit about here. Zulon goes down, but they don't capitalize on any more kills, which we're very grateful for, because they could have probably kept the pressure. I know we were respawning, but either way, it's back to 5-2. It's getting a little bit dicey. Again, this is not the best spot in the world for us, but we do have a Tick to push them back. Zulon has gadgets. We also have a Piper jump, which we were wondering whether to wall break in this scenario, but we probably just want the jump to stay alive. Zulon's going to miss the super, but he is trying to zone him the best he can. Fade gets tapped by a nice shot as Livy hits another shot onto them, keeping them low. At this point, they have to try to make a play with 5 seconds left. The only person that can't die is Tyrant. He's hiding in the corner with everything going on. Zulon finishes off a couple kills, secures the game, and that's game 1 of Bounty. All right, here we go, game 2, and I like something that we switched up here. We went Tick side, which I think was huge, and again, as Livy with a very quick start to the game, getting a kill onto Chino, and he's popping off. At this point, he's already broken the grass. That's the best thing you could ask for. Zulon also gets a kill onto Patchy, so good start from him as well. There's another one. The beat totem doesn't go down in time, and that's a little bit unfortunate on their side, but it works out in our favor. So we are 7-0 in this game, looking almost over right now. Obviously, they can come back, But, I mean, as Livy's just tapping, those would have hit if there wasn't bags there. And we have full control. And as long as we're not pushed back in our spawn, it's pretty hard for them to get some sort of team wipe. As Livy gets put in a little dicey spot, does jump out. Not too worried there. Tyrant is going to be able to get this kill onto Patchy. After a little bit extra effort, there we go. We get that kill. Curveball active does get tanked by this totem. Now, note that there is no more totems on the side of Chino, which is really important. Again, that he can't tank any more curves, which is Livy has one more, and it is 9-0. So at this point, we have full control. The game is looking so good for us. With 45 seconds left, it is really unlikely for them to get that many kills, but it is possible if they do get the control. And as you see, they are looking for it. They're pushing up. Patchy gets a nice mute or silence or whatever you want to call it onto Zuan, grabs one kill, makes this game a little bit closer. And again, though, as Livy's slowly going to back up here because he doesn't want to get spawn trapped too early. 20 seconds left. There's still quite a bit of time on the clock. Zuan and Patchy are having this corner peek fest, I guess you want to call it, on this side. No one wants to make the mistake. Patchy is going to go down to Zuan, and that is game over. With 10 seconds left, there is no way. And Zuan is just going to push up the map, and he knows it's over, even if he dies. And we're going to take the set. And we're going to go on to set 3. All right, now hopping into set number 3, this is going to be the last set of the series. It's a best of 3. This is the draft. We first picked Gus, and then it went B and Griff, which Griff is the wall break of the map. B is just super annoying, and we'll see that more in this set. But here we go. Let's hop into it. Here we go, hopping into the first game, and we're going to wall break right off the bat. That's the main reason you take a wall break, and the main reason, well, I should say the main reason is so that way you can have sort of 3 lanes and you sort of don't get pinched on the right side. We're also going to break the mid because we do outrange them. At the end of the day, we have more range than them, but we have to push that advantage because they have a pretty nasty late game. And what I mean by that is once the smoke starts coming in, they pop the Colette gadget, they pop the Griff super, and that is a ton of damage, ton of healing, and it's just, we don't have enough shots to deal with it at the late game. So we have to sort of push our advantage early, which we are doing at the moment. We're putting them in a pretty tough spot as we speak, and they're getting pushed back. They're going to actually break that wall, which I'm not sure if it helps them or us. At the end of the day, they have a little bit more room to juke and stuff like that, so probably the right choice. And it's getting a little bit close, I guess. No one's really doing anything. At this point, though, the smoke starts to come in. They're starting to push up, and that's what they have to do. They can't get pushed back in their spawn. Zuan's going to hit a couple shots. We're going to miss the Gus super. I believe Zuan gets a clutch kill onto Fade there, keeping this alive. This gets really dicey. Tyrant gets a kill onto Chino, and Patchy just dies to the smoke. What a crazy close first round. And again, that's what I was talking about. The later the round goes, I honestly think it favors them just because they have so much last minute potential with slows, Griff super, Colette gadget. So we have to, again, do more at the start. We don't want to go into that scenario again. Chino's going to get a nice 3K onto his Livy, forcing the super out from him. And at this point, they're just going to wait. I think that's probably what their game plan was here, was to wait as long as they could. And as the late game comes around, that's when they want to win it. So either way, we're pushing up this time. We have a good scenario going for us. We don't want to let them get back into the grass, but they might be able to do so. So Chino, that's someone you're gonna have to pay attention to this series. He does very well with a lot of these 3Ks. He does get popped by the Gus gadget, and at this point he gets extremely low. Zuan also hits a big rocket onto Patchy. They're very low in a very bad scenario here. Fade's gonna miss the super going in. He goes extremely low. Patchy's also extremely low. Nice kill from his Livy. One shot onto the B, and we win that round, winning the first game of Knockout. So let's hop into the next one. We go round 2 of Knockout, and if we can do that one more time, we're gonna move on into the semifinals. And at this point, we have a great start. I mean, Fade goes down extremely low. Chino's low, but I do like what they did, and they switched up the matchups. They went Chino onto Zuan. However, that's an interesting matchup. I would say probably Brock, or I don't know. Actually, I don't know if B or Brock wins that, but it's just an annoying matchup to play for either, in my opinion. So at this point, they're getting pushed back pretty hard. As Livy's hitting a ton of shots in a very good angle, but they're able to hide and they're able to heal up, which is the biggest thing to note. And they're going to be able to kind of push back. As you see, the smoke comes in. They're trying to make the plays. Fade is going to try to make a play. Patchy's going to try to make a play. There's the gadget. Fade's full HP. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Does miss one shot. He does go down there, and what's looking so good for us. Chino is one shot. He does hit a 3K onto Tyrant, evening it out to 2-on-2. Patchy's full HP. No one can hit him, and he survives. And I think we just saved our stuff. I know Zuan had super and he probably thought we were going to win that round. Tyrant goes down to a 3K and it just ends up being a 2v2. So a little bit of choke on our end, and at the end of the day, we lost that round. So we're trying to come back here. Nice shots from Zuan. It's getting dicey. Tyrant's going to pop a gadget to push up the map, and this is what we need to do. We need to push him into this exact scenario. Now, honestly, maybe even break that wall that they're hiding behind, so that way we have the open zone. And Chino hits another 3K onto Livy. Livy doesn't get the super off in time, and now it is a 2v3, and this one is almost impossible to win, especially with the Colette and Griff. I think it's over at this point, and especially since Tyrant's not even in big form. Small form, they know they're not going to get close, and they're going to play this the right way. They're not going to mess this up. This is very, very strong team, and at this point, it's looking very, very good for them. Zuan's trying his best. If he was able to get a sneak kill onto Chino or something, could have maybe turned this around. He was very close, good attempt, and hit some nice shots, but there's the Griff super, there's the Colette gadget, and that is going to be game 2. So let's hop into game 3, double match point. All right, here we go. All the marbles are right here, and this is where it comes down to it. And whoever wins this will move on to play, I believe was Vatra that won their round. And so it's looking good. I mean, every start to this series, or to this out in the open, is definitely in our favor, and we do a great job at the start. But I don't think we push our advantage enough. It's sometimes hard into a B, which might have been the issue, but I believe that we probably have comp. I don't exactly know. And a nice 3K from Chino that's going to take out Zuan. And like I'm saying, we do not have the power to win the 2v3. They have too much HP, too much damage. We're going to have to try our best, though, because we can't really go down a round unless it's going to just happen here. I believe Tyrant's going to go down right about now, as Livy knows he's not winning the 1v3. And that makes it one more round for them, and they're going to be able to take this. So now we have to play picture perfect, and hopefully we can. All right, here we go. This is very close now. It's looking good for them now. I think this was a good break from Zuan. I think the breaking their grass allows for Livy and Tyrant to push up a lot easier into them, so they can't really hide, and we do have the range advantage. So we are kind of pushing that. As you can see, Patchy and Fade are going extremely low, and at this point, I believe we should be able to sort of get one of these kills, but we're not able to. Patchy stays alive. Fade covers him. Zuan gets slowed. Has to be forced back. They're able to make it their way out of the spawn slowly without panicking. So they played this very, very well. Chino gets hit. I mean, we're hitting shots, but they heal up so fast. And it's getting close. I mean, the smoke's coming in. Patchy goes extremely low. Tyrant hits a shot. Patchy's one shot goes down. It is a 3v2 in our scenario. It's looking very, very good. There's another kill from Livy. Fade is not going to win the 1-3. Can't talk. 1v3, and he knows it, but he does pop a gadget, but he probably has more anyway. So this is double match point, last round in knockout. You cannot get any closer than this, and this is the same scenario, but they have still Colette gadgets, they have B gadgets. The only thing they don't have is a Griff gadget, but that's not even really important. So at this point, we need probably to switch up the matchups. This is not the matchups we want. I think this is literally the best matchups they could have asked for. They have Griff on Brock, Colette on Bonnie, and B on Gus, which is probably in favor of Gus, but it's not that crazy. So Zuan's going to hit the super onto Fade, just a little bit of damage. We're going to push up with a Gus super, but Tyrant gets slowed, has to jump out, and with Tyrant in small form, they're able to push up the map so fast. Look at them. They don't waste any time. The B has 3K. We're getting trapped in the corner, and this is not what you want to see if you're on our side. And at this point, Tyrant goes down. There's the Griff super, as Livy's the last man, and we are going to lose in knockout. Very close series. And there it is, guys. We lost in the quarterfinals of a monthly final. This is the first time we lost in a quarterfinals in 2.5 years, I want to say. I have no idea. This was a heartbreaking loss for us. It was a very close series, so GG's to Obey. Couple mistakes on our end. I believe that set should have been ours. We just got hit by a little bit too many 3Ks, a little bit too many mistakes, and probably didn't push our advantages enough, but that's how the game works. We're not going to win every time. We're going to have to bounce back. We have Worlds to focus on, so either way, we're going to try our hardest. We're going to grind it out, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, hit that sub button, hit the like button, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.